So why the bridge and why Costa Rica? Why would it make sense to come to a program like this? Why come to Costa Rica instead of anywhere else? So first of all, the intention with which we started the bridge is an inspiration that we had as participants of study abroad programs and gap year experiences, where we noticed in ourselves a huge change in our lives in terms of our identity development, in terms of our future orientation, and we saw the same in the people that we interacted with that also participated in those programs. And we figured that we had all the tools that it took to help people through such journeys, and especially people who are not making the best of their lives, who seem a little bit lost, who seem like they need a little bit of guidance in their path. And that's the population that we're working with. So here at the Bridge, we're focusing on what we call transformative experiential learning. Our graduates tell us that what they got the most out of the program is, number one, gaining perspective.
Probably the feedback circles I really took away from, because I mean, it's a chance for you to look at yourself through other people's eyes and kind of step away from those internal dialogues that I said earlier, and then just have a chance to better yourself. So that was one that I really took seriously.
Gained a lot of confidence in navigating the world, advocating and initiating.
I've earned a great deal of self-awareness and confidence, and the ability to deal with out of comfort zone situations, and my improved communication skills.
Identity and future orientation. So the entire process is a question of what you have to give, what calibrates with who you are, what suits you, so that people learn how they learn, and not learn a series of skills that are only going to apply to a few situations, but to learn to be flexible and adaptable, which is the other thing that graduates tell us, that they learned how to problem solve in creative ways, to figure a way out without having to resort to a set of skills that they learned and was just that couldn't work in specific ways.
This place has been a practice field, right? The game's life. Make life what I want it to be. Because I have the tools, I have the skills, right? I put it into practice here. And without that, you don't have any purpose, you don't have any drive. So that's what this place has been. It's been an opportunity for me to do that.
And certainly the cross-cultural environment and the friendly and socially oriented culture of Costa Rica lends itself very well to be challenged out of your comfort zone, and at the same time feel a certain sense of at-homeness and comfort and friendliness in going through the process.
I feel my biggest turning point here would be through my first Aventura. I kind of developed more of a sense for family and the importance for family and the importance of just living in the moment and not really being so caught up on the past.
So there's lots of ways that we take these guys through this experiential transformative learning. Some of the highlights for our students tend to be the internships. So we have more than 50 internships, which means that our students can choose from a huge variety of options of activities that they want to engage in. Sometimes they come in with a defined idea of what they want to do and who they want to be. Like someone may come in and say, I'd really like something related to sports, something related to architecture or wildlife, biology, veterinary.
I want you to work with a variety of animals, mostly animals that are typically in the wild. Before the tour, I was feeding the monkeys. I fed the squirrel monkeys as well as the marmosets.
And then coming down here, I got the chance to work hands-on with macaws and with parrots, and I love macaws in general.
Correct.
for like learning tours and stuff, it was kind of like you're thrown in the position of, all right, Ethan, there's an English tour, go.
So if they're released back into the wilds, they would most likely not be able to survive. So that's the reason for keeping them here.
So right now we're building a grain silo, and we're building that completely from scratch with my hands, and this is literally the best way you could physically do that. It's a lot of exercise as well, so it just makes me happy to be here. I'm definitely exhausted when I get back to the house. It's most definitely what I want to do. This is the most fun I've had in years.
Well, I was very interested in working with anything to do with music or sound work, and I was shown two options, which are now both my internships. So a recording studio in Recio and here at the radio station in San Jose.
Okay, so G, minor or main? He's interested, he's always doing his own stuff, he always has something new to show me. I don't know, it's really fun.
And I've learned that through this, doing what I love is that's actually now my goals for the future.
Having such a variety and being allowed to just kind of experiment and play around with things really helps people orient not only toward a career, but also toward what they have to offer to the world. Immersion projects and community service is also a highlight for students. We go all around Costa Rica and engage with communities. We live with them, we adhere to their cultures for a week, and we put together projects with them that are really engaging for them, that the community says, we want to work on this. And that ends up being very fulfilling for the students. Certainly is a process of going out of their comfort zone, but they put the process together from the very beginning until the end. They choose where we go, they are going through budgets and planning and all of that, so that ends up being really rewarding.
It's fun to work with them as a group. We know how to work together to help us. People from the community that is helping us too, they didn't say no, they say, of course, we will help you to work.
Really enjoyed being here with the Bribri people, learning about their way of life, and it's just a great experience for me so I can learn about other cultures.
One might feel, kind of out of place in this culture, but I was here 2 years ago and they don't make me feel out of place. They actually remember me, and it's really nice. It's like a second home to me, actually.
It's the first time the people of Bribri is here in the feria, and I am feeling happy.
I'm having a lot of fun. This is one of my favorite things I've done here in Costa Rica, and I'm really enjoying it. We've made a lot of money to send these two girls to Oregon in the near future, so go Bribri. Yeah.
Our students leave the program with more than 150 hours of community service, not just through these projects, but also many other projects that we do here in our local community. In addition to the cultural immersion that goes on when we go on community service and immersion projects, the students have a homestay family that they see on Sundays. They also get to roam around the town quite a bit and get to develop relationships with people in the community. We spend a lot of time getting these guys to feel in the driver's seat of what goes on in their lives, and a big part of that has to do with being able to plan, execute, follow through, initiate, organize, and all the other skills that go with executive functioning. Our motto here at the Bridge is students are in the driver's seat, we're in the passenger seat. And so through the practices of everyday living, the students are the ones that do it, and we guide them to it. So experientially, they're learning how to be more and more responsible and taking care of themselves, taking care of others, being of service to others.
I worked on what we have talked about a lot as becoming a good tool maker for myself. So being able to deal with situations that I haven't even dealt with yet. A lot of the program is based around creating positive coping mechanisms, working on executive functioning, and creating a path for yourself. But a lot of the things that come up for people in life are things that you won't predict. And one of the biggest changes that's happened in me that I really would say highlights my first real step into adulthood is my sort of newfound ability to improvise in situations that I haven't encountered before.
Finally, just want to leave you with a bit on research and outcomes. So we stay in touch with a lot of our graduates and we track how they're doing, and what we're getting from the research is that they're experiencing high levels of life satisfaction, and they feel like their ability to accomplish goals has increased on average by 53%. And so the reason why we ask them about life satisfaction and goal accomplishment is because typically people that are able to accomplish goals and feel a high degree of life satisfaction are devoid of symptomatology that brought them here in the first place. And so by asking that, you're also asking about the symptomatology. These guys are feeling like life has improved a ton and that they have concrete positive goals that they're accomplishing. And they also tell us that life isn't all rosy. There are issues, there are setbacks, but they feel aware of them and feel like they're capable of working through them, which demonstrates a higher degree of resilience. Finally, we want to leave you with a couple of publications that pertain specifically to the bridge. Coming of Age in Foreign Lands is an article published in 2018, which focuses a lot on the theoretical framework of what it might mean for the brain and the self to go through an experience of cross-cultural immersion that leads people to make the leap to emerging adulthood and to get on the path toward adulthood. The second one's a 2020 article that speaks about the approach, the supportive immersion approach that we use here at the Bridge and NSA as a way of working through the social trends that we're seeing in the 21st century. We're doing that through accounts of participants of the Bridge and how they experienced their time here. Yeah, that's more information if you wanna get to know more about our approach and what we do down here at the Bridge. Thank you.